How do we build trust? This is the question I was asked this past week. How do we build trust with our team? How do we build trust with our family? So whether or not you are a entrepreneur, manager, professional, high performer, parent, you want to know about how do we build trust. And so we're going to be unpacking 5 practical tips for you to take away. And if we haven't met, my name is Dr. Karyn. I've been doing this work for 25 years, started in the family, working with families, now spend almost all my time now working with global organizations and teams. And so this is just one of those amazing leadership topics that is really important that we can apply both to our work life and our home life. So let's dive in. Okay, so I'm going to be drawing a little bit from my book. It's kind of like, it's like you're chatting with the author in terms of this topic. And I'm reading from page 46 and 47 in terms of the communication, the trust link. So here we go. The first thing, grab your pen and paper, everybody. We're going to want to take some notes. Okay, so the first thing when you're thinking about building trust is the foundation of any healthy relationship. Okay, so if you want a healthy relationship dynamic with your team, with your clients, with your family, trust, you have to build it. It is not an option. This is something that we need to kind of lean in, and we got to figure out how do we build trust. So this is really, really important that we are paying attention to this. So your first tip is understand the difference between IQ and EQ. Okay, between IQ and EQ as it relates to trust. Okay, so IQ is whether or not somebody has, are they school smart? Do they have a lot of A's? Can they have those technical skills? EQ is your emotional intelligence. And the whole book, in the 3 chairs, is really around developing your emotional intelligence and learning how to sit in that middle chair. That's what the entire book is about. The reason why I share this with you, and I talk about this on page 47 in the book, is that you can trust somebody's IQ, but not trust their EQ. So for example, you might have somebody on your team where you can trust their technical skill. They've got that. They know what they're doing. So you can trust them on the technical skill, but you don't trust them on the EQ side. So you don't trust how they're going to deal with conflict, or how they're going to deal with people, or whether or not they're going to show up on time, or how they're managing their emotions. So you can trust their technical side, their IQ, but you don't trust their EQ. And so the first thing is really, it's important to differentiate between IQ and EQ as relates to trust, okay? Because sometimes I'll talk to clients, I'll be like, yeah, I think I can trust them, but I'm not really sure if I can trust them. And they're not clear about why there's this angst that they actually have. And so helping to understand, it's like, oh, you know what? Okay, Karyn, that makes sense. So I can actually trust their EQ, but I can't trust their IQ, or maybe I can trust their IQ, but not their EQ. So when you're hiring, it's really important that you're hiring for both the IQ and actually the EQ. When you're choosing a partner, you want to make sure you're really you're looking for someone who has more, I don't know if I would say the technical skills, but whatever those kind of skills are that you want to look for in a partner, but you also want to really make sure that you're getting somebody with really solid EQ as well. So it's really important to understand that, okay? And that's something that a lot of times people kind of skip over. Okay, so I kind of started with one of the harder ones. That's number 1. Number 2 is you want to really build trust. You want to be forthcoming with information. So a lot of times we'll say, well, to build trust, you have to be honest. Yes, of course, you have to be honest. That is kind of like foundation. We have to be honest with information. But if you really want to have the higher level of trust, you want to really build that, you need to be forthcoming with information. And so this is a great example in terms of from a parenting perspective. If you want your kids, everyone's going to make mistakes. Everybody is going to make mistakes. Nobody is perfect. So what you want to do is you want to instill with your children and with your team that when you make mistakes, not if, but when you make mistakes, I want you to come and tell me. I don't want to find out about it through another party or another source. When somebody is forthcoming with information, something that maybe they should have done differently, or they did wrong, or there was an error, that is going to be a huge amount, or a very practical way of actually building trust It's actually the highest level. It's actually the highest level. If you like this content, by the way, we have a great leadership scorecard. You can just in the chat function in YouTube, you can actually just say receive, and somebody from our team will actually send it to you. Because in the scorecard, communication and trust building is one of the 5 core skills, and there's a whole bunch of like different little metrics you can actually look at for yourself in terms of how you're actually doing in that particular area. So it's a great tool as a next step from this topic. And again, just write that. Receive in the chat function. Somebody from our team will get that to you. Okay, so number 2 is being forthcoming. Number 3 is words and actions need to match. Words and actions need to match. So if you say you're going to do something by Friday, have it done by Friday. If you say you're going to do it by Friday, but you don't hand it in until Monday or Tuesday, that person is now not going to be able to trust you. So that kind of goes back to that IQ EQ thing that I was talking about earlier. So the person might be like, yeah, I know you can do it, but do you have enough time management and self-regulation and self-discipline to actually get it done? Now you're actually drawing on your EQ side. And so be really mindful, everybody. Be really mindful is when you say you're going to do something, be really intentional to do it and try to discipline yourself. And I do this for myself as well. Try to discipline ourselves to not say we're going to do something unless we're really going to follow through with it. Okay, so words and actions really need to match. Words and actions really need to match. The next one is number 4, is you want to really kind of build trust. You want to learn assertiveness skills to resolve conflict. So in the book, I talk about page 49, research has found, this is probably not going to be a big surprise, but I'm just going to share with you a little bit of the data. Research has found 25 to 40% of managers spend their time handling workplace conflict. 25 to 40%. That is a lot of time. And so if we really want to build great teams, if we really want to build healthy teams, we need to train people and teach people that learning how to deal with conflict is actually the way to do it. We need to learn how to problem solve and learn how to resolve conflict. And so when we're talking about building trust, you want to kind of create that team at work and at home. When problems come up, because they are going to come up, when problems come up, we are going to learn how to lean in and actually problem solve it as quickly and efficiently as we possibly can. That is going to build trust. When people avoid topics or they talk about it with other people, or they, you never really know what you're dealing with. In the 3 chairs, for those of you who have read it or seen the TED Talk on it, the person in that middle chair, they tend to resolve conflicts. They want to lean in and try to problem solve it. The person on the right chair, they tend not to, a lot of times they avoid problems. In this person, they actually kind of attack problems. They kind of blame other people. So when we really are talking about building trust, we really want to have that approach from that middle chair. Conflicts are going to happen. They're going to happen with our teams. They're going to happen at home. And so you want to kind of train yourself. Okay, I want to really build a great, healthy team, a trusting team. So you want to kind of teach everybody to really kind of lean into conflict and realize, and nothing to me, I find as a leader, both in our organization, but also at home, nothing is more peaceful than knowing if somebody has an issue, they're gonna raise it with me. I don't have to guess. I don't have to try to approach it in a whole bunch of different ways. It's so peaceful to know that when there are issues that pop up, great, people know that they can kind of come talk about it and we're going to solve it together. So that is a really, really important way in terms of building trust. The 5th one is a little bit of a tangent. And actually, let me just quickly, just going back to the last one really quick. I talk about this on page 47 when we're talking about kind of resolving issues. Research found, I'm reading it from page 47. Research published in Personal Review reported that managers who provided guidance on how to improve, who are open to ideas, and who are skilled problem solvers build trust more easily in their business relationships. Okay, so it really is important as leaders, as managers, as high performers, as professionals, as parents, that we really train ourselves the importance around leaning in and trying to solve problems, being assertive and solving problems. That is a beautiful way of actually building trust. And the last one, number 5, and this kind of goes into a little bit with 3 chairs actually as well. One of the best ways to build trust, again, is making sure that you're dealing with things one-on-one. This is really, really important. I've talked about this on other videos. And by the way, if you like these videos, make sure you subscribe to subscribe to our YouTube channel, but also look at our other videos. We've got all kinds of different videos that tackle different topics. But again, building trust is making sure that you are dealing with one-on-one. So when there's an issue, don't involve anybody else. You know, this goes for work and actually at home. Deal with the issue one-on-one. Don't pull other people in. That's what we call triangulation. Don't pull anybody actually in. Don't blame things, but try to really lean in and say, I really want to solve this with you. That is going to be one of the most amazing ways to building trust. So as a recap, knowing the difference between IQ and EQ, differentiating because you might trust the person's IQ but not their EQ. Making sure that you are not only honest but forthcoming with information. Making sure, number 3 is making sure words and actions match. Number 4 is really prioritize resolving conflict, being assertive, problem solving. And the last one is speak one-on-one, don't do any triangles. And those 5 practical ways are how, some of them, there's lots of others, but those are 5 practical ways on how we build trust. I hope you've liked, and definitely, like I said, check out some of our other YouTube videos, sign up for our YouTube channel, and I look forward to seeing you on some of our other videos.